Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Dog is Good Lifestyle Show. I am Gila Kurtz, one of the co-founders and co-owners of Dog is Good. And with me today is my friend Dawn. So, am I saying your name right? Celapino?
Perfect.
Awesome. And I am extra excited because we're going to be talking today about two of my personal favorite things, and that is fitness and dogs. So hold on there. In the meantime, I'm clicking to see people are popping in, and I want to make sure that I'll be able to see comments. So as you pop in, and there's Jack. So we're going to you'll introduce Jack too. Hi, Jack. I picked Bolo up, but she's snoozing under my
Yeah,
desk.
he wants to. He's like, "What are you doing, waking me up?"
Yeah, I think you can pick him up. I can't pick Bolo up. Although that could be a good workout. Squats with Bolo. I'd have to figure out how to put her on some kind of bar or something like that. But hopefully she won't start snoring during our conversation. She's been doing a lot of snoring lately. So anyway, welcome in. As you do pop in, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and, of course, your dogs. And this is going to be an open conversation because it is all around staying active. I mean, it's winter in much of the country, but spring is, technically and officially here. And it's that time of year when everybody's like, oh my gosh, I got to get healthier and get back into shape. Maybe putting on shorts and maybe even, God forbid, a bikini or a bathing suit or something. So, and your pets too, they may also be at a place where they need to up their fitness game. And this is going to be a great conversation to help you guys figure out best ways to do that and how to incorporate your pet in all of these activities. So popping in already from Alabama is Ann. So welcome, Ann. Thank you. And want to ask you guys now, as you do pop in, share so that everybody can learn about some of these fun activities that we can do to improve our health and our pets' health as well. So for those of you first coming on board, we do a giveaway on this show every single week, and that's your opportunity to win some great dig gear, but also a chance to win something from one of our guests. And I'm going to highlight what Dawn is donating for the giveaway first. This is her book called Jack's Journey USA. The two of them, they're so awesome. I mean, I would just love, I'm kind of dreaming and wishing there could be a point in time where I could just get an RV, load the dogs up, and travel across country. Or maybe it'll be a Dog is Good thing, but I just want to be able to go.
Yep, you do it.
Yes. Oh, you did. I'm going to ask you some questions about that. But the book is all about the adventures. And Brittany's in from Idaho. Welcome. And Jen from Maine. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. I know you all are active and enjoy doing things with your dogs. So feel free to share. So part of the giveaway is the book. And then the other... And hi, Steven. The other giveaway is Never Walk Alone. It's not where you walk, it's who walks with you. It's the unisex t-shirt and the dog water bottle for your dog to go along with it. So it's a really nice giveaway. Just enter in the link and we will pick a winner. Usually we do that by tomorrow because we know a lot of people watch the replay. We want to give you guys a chance to enter to win. And we announced the winner in the private Facebook group. So if you're not part of the Dog is Good Lifestyle group, get in there. We have a lot of fun things that are going to be coming up in the next month. In fact, we just started working on something. It's going to be so fun for Mother's Day. I cannot wait to share this with you. Also, if you have not seen the first 2 minutes home campaign that Dog is Good is doing in honor of our 10th anniversary, this is unreal. I had no idea the quality and the amazing videos that we were going to receive here at the company. And the team sat down and went through every single one. We have 12 finalists now. You guys have got to see these. They will blow you away. They will make you laugh. They'll make you cry. They're just beautiful. And we want to award the grand prize to the one that viewers and fans pick. So we'll put the link into that and go there, not now, after the show, because you're going to want to have a few minutes to view all these videos and vote and share that with your friends too. We're really trying to ensure that all these people have their videos viewed by as many dog lovers around the country as well. So anyway, so there we are. Feels like there's lots of housekeeping to get out to you guys, but I appreciate you taking the time to do that. So you got your contest you can enter, join the Dog is Good Lifestyle group, and go check out after the show the First 2 Minutes Home video campaign. So I am going to introduce Dawn, who to me is a rock star. We met at a women's conference, and we got to go for a really nice run one morning. I think like we were one of the few people up early and actually which it was so beautiful up there in Portland when we did that. And I've always been really interested in your business because, like I said, you married the two things that are just such a big part of my life, and that's health, fitness, and dogs. So let me just give you guys what? Yeah. Yes, it is. So let me give you guys a brief introduction to Dawn. She is the owner of Leash Your Fitness. It's the only fitness class in San Diego that incorporates your dog as a workout partner. Leash Your Fitness began in January 2009 because Dawn did not want to leave her new pup at home when she went to work out. That's pretty cool. And so the emphasis of Leash Your Fitness is inspiring people to try new fitness activities with their dog. She has 23 years experience in the personal training and group fitness area. She has worked with both men and women from ages 20 to as old as 75. I'm not even going to say old. Like, I feel like that is so young. I was just mentally picturing, like, wow, I'm approaching 60. Like, that's crazy, you know?
I'm 50 in July, I know. I heard a 95-year-old the other day, and she was like, woohoo! She goes, I used to exercise with Jack LaLanne. And I'm like, you can't go by age anymore. You cannot go by age.
You can't. That's going to be me. I'm putting the stake in the ground now. I'm going to be like that lady at age 90, 100, and then some. Anyway, her experiences include weight loss, posture, core strength, cardiovascular and flexibility, and balance training. She's both a personal trainer, but also has experience in yoga and kickboxing and boot camp and sculpting gym classes. Man, it's just like this is just, quite the array of everything that one needs. But your real love, of course, I know, is being outdoors and enjoying life. And so to that, as you've incorporated things with the dog, things like running and hiking and mountain climbing and road biking, mountain biking and road biking, camping, going kayaking, going supping, stand-up paddleboarding for those of you who are centered in the country and may not know what that is, swim, surf, and you also do yoga. And if Jack, the Kern Terrier, is with you, you are extra happy. She has a tremendous amount of credentials, which you can read on her website, and has been featured in a number of media, both on TV as well as in digital print. So, you guys got to go check out Leash Your Fitness and get all that detail. So my big question to you is this. Like, obviously, when you were younger, you had this love of fitness and you went into that industry, and then you decided to expand, Unleash Your Fitness. How did you organize that in a way that you knew you could incorporate the dog without sacrificing the quality of training that the people were going to receive?
Well, it was kind of a complete organic growth. I got Jack, and then I was in corporate fitness at the time. So I was going into corporations and running their fitness programs and that kind of stuff. And one by one, and I was taking Jack with me, and I was one by one, they were like, you can't bring him. So I literally quit all my jobs. I'm going to put him down. And then also I started taking my clients outside. And so I took everybody outside. We live in San Diego, so that's easy to do. And I started incorporating my clients' dogs into their workouts. And I realized most people, some people don't like to work out, but having their dog there just made it more fun for them. So I set up jumps, and we would do stuff, and we would work on the dog obedience and the workout at the same time. So it's super fun, and you get a really good workout because of the way we have the classes set up. So we will run. So we'll do like a little run or jog. Everybody's different. Some people walk, some people run, some people jog. And then we'll stop and we'll do like a weight training thing. And then that's when we put the dog in their dog obedience, like in their sit or down. And most people don't know what you do. You're a dog trainer. that the mental stimulation is just as important as the physical. And so, and that's what a lot of people aren't doing with their dogs is, you know, that part of it. So the person gets a really good workout. The dog gets a really good physical and mental workout. And it's just fun. It's so fun because, I mean, who doesn't want to be with their dog? And the fact that it just, every single class, the dogs do something funny and that just cracks us all up. You know,
yeah, it makes the workout probably go faster, and it makes it more fun too, because you're laughing and you're really enjoying that. I'm gonna stop just to say hi to some people, because there's some folks who know you too, and Laura Schwartz in San Diego.
Hi, Laura.
And Annie from I don't know where Annie's from.
Hi, Annie.
You guys know her, and then Rebecca's saying hi too. So maybe
hi, Rebecca.
It's down in San Diego. So okay, so what I'm picturing is, I often will see people who view a workout kind of as drudgery, like I have to get this done kind of thing. There's not, like, you don't really mentally get all excited and get into it. But by having the dog there, oftentimes it kind of shifts their mindset and their view and approach of the class.
Yeah, I'll give you a great story. We have a girl that came, and she was like nearing 60, and she came to our run class, and she felt like she couldn't keep up. And, you know, we wait for everybody. We never leave anybody behind. She felt like she couldn't keep up. So she was not going to come again because she felt like she couldn't keep up. She came because of her dog. She came back because of her dog. Well, guess what? Now she teaches for us.
What?
Yes. She's lost over 20 pounds, and now she teaches for us.
Oh,
it's a great story. I mean, I have so many stories like that, you know, or people who had come kayaking, and, you know, now they own their own kayaks, like they'd never gone before. But we introduce people to all these different things that they would never do on their own. And their dog is their icebreaker. So some people won't go into a group fitness class, or they won't go into a gym, but they will do something with their dog, because when people come to the class, we're all goo goo gaga over the dog, and we're not focusing just on this new person walking in, you know.
Love that.
Yeah.
That is such a key thing around it, because it totally aligns with everything that I believe about dogs and their impact on people. How amazing that is, that the person who is so concerned by oftentimes by their outward appearance, or doesn't want, you know, people paying attention, or is really, and everybody tends to do this, they're just judging themselves. Nobody's even looking or really making any kind of judgment statement. But by having the dog there, not only are they making instant friends, because that's super easy and fun to do, but it does take their perceived spotlight off of themselves and gets them to actually get involved. I love also that what you were just saying about your the gal who's now teaching for you, because I find it so interesting what we will do for our pets that we won't do for ourselves.
Oh, you see it all the time. People will cook all these great meals for their dogs, and then they're eating packaged foods. You know, we see it all the time. And it's like, whatever works for you. We don't judge anyone. Whatever works for you. But, you know, we welcome all fitness levels, all dog breeds, all dog temperaments, because we have seen so many dogs. All they need is confidence. They need to build their confidence. So they might be aggressive when they first come and their person stays away. But then they build this confidence, and now their dogs can go and do all these other things. And it's the same with the person. We see people that they could barely, you know, walk a mile, and now they're out running marathons. Wow. You know, so we never give up on anybody. I mean, it's always fun. We get the hula hoops out, and we get people hula hooping, and they're like, I can't do it. I'm like, first of all, you're not allowed to say can't in this class.
Yeah, right.
Maybe not right now, but you'll be able to. And it's just fun. We just like to have fun. And that's what fitness should be about. You should find something that you enjoy doing, and then that way you'll do it. If you hate doing it, then you're not going to do it.
Exactly. So let's go through, like, what, you know, all the different scenarios of a class. So for example, you have, let's just start with the group size. Like, what, if somebody were going to take a class, and let's say it's just the group fitness class, because I know you have so many other ones which we'll get into, but on the group fitness, is there a limit to the number of participants?
Well, we had 25 in our Easter egg hunt on Saturday. We had 25 dogs. Most of the time we tell people one dog per person because we want them to work with their dog. Some people have two dogs and they don't want to leave one at home. And as long as they're well behaved together and they're not playing the whole time, we're cool with that. Usually the classes aren't that big. We have set the world record for 250 dogs in a class when we did the world's largest dog yoga class. But usually it's between, I don't know, 8 and 15 people, you know. And we try to keep the dogs apart, especially in the beginning of the class, because it's a lot of energy, you know. And so at least until the dogs get a little bit more tired toward the end of the class, but especially new dogs. But and then what we do is it just depends. I kind of wait to see who's coming to the class, and then, you know, we do everything from walking classes to we have a trail dogs group that they train for, you know, adventure races. We've done Spartan races. We've done Ragnar races. So we have every single fitness level. Most of our classes combine.
Okay, guys, if you're watching and we're freezing,
we keep everyone together. But like a boot camp class, what we'll do is we'll run for a little bit and then we stop and we put the dogs in a sit or a down while we stand there and do like lunges or push-ups or whatever it is that we're going to do, or stretches. We do a lot of stretching.
Okay, so I have a couple questions on that. So the class is getting started. The dogs are obviously high energy, so you're pushing, you know, putting them apart, or you're putting space so that the dogs can manage as well as the person. Now you're going to take off for a general run. Is there any challenge with, do all the dogs participate, or is there any challenge if a dog can't really run? Or I guess, like you said, the person can walk with the dog as well.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes we have people like their fitness levels here and the dog's fitness levels here. So it's not equal, or the other way around. But like I said, the way that the classes are designed, we always start with these drills and we work out in like a field. So we do these drills where we're moving all over, like front, backward, sideways, you know. So it's not like we're just going to take off running, like, and run a mile and leave, you know, the person behind. We don't do that. It's kind of like a stop, go, stop, go, stop, go kind of thing.
So what if the dog is not gone through obedience yet? And this is going to be, you know, and it's not a standard obedience class. It's really is a fitness class that incorporates manners, some basic manners. How does the person get their workout if the dog, if their dog is not managing their behavior in terms of staying in that sit or that down behavior?
We had a 5-month-old puppy in class on Saturday, and it was really cute. But they still do. I mean, it's just the way. It's kind of hard to explain until you take a class. I mean, I remember when I first started. You know, so many people started being interested, and they wanted to buy my business idea. And I remember these trainers came down from Washington, and they watched the class. And then I said, "Oh no, you're going to take a class." So then they took it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Because I just mix it all up, you know. But I make sure that it's good for everyone. Now I have to say, most of the times where the best classes are is when I have a field. When you have to move like through a park and keep going, that's when it gets a little bit trickier because we, like I said, we wait for everybody. So if I see somebody getting too far behind, we stop and wait, and everybody else will stand there and do an exercise until that person catches up. And same with like our running classes, we do trail runs, and same thing. If we're running on a trail, we'll stop and everybody will catch up. So everybody will get a good workout because they're never just standing around. And to answer your question about the dog thing, so if the dog doesn't know sit, a lot of the dogs don't know sit or down or anything like that. We give them incentive to work with their dogs at home. So we play games, but we'll play like red light, green light, where that the dog has to be in a sit. And it's kind of fun because at the beginning of the game, sometimes the dog won't do it, but it's crazy. By the end of the game, the dog's kind of like embarrassed or something. And then all of a sudden that dog's doing it. I mean, it's just so much fun to see how much improvement not only the person makes, but the dogs make. And like I was up in Orange County, north of here, north of San Diego last month. And I had a brand new class. And once a year I go up there and teach. And this guy comes to my class every single time I come up there. And I guess people were saying, oh, my dog couldn't do it. There's no way my dog can do it. And he's like, yes, you can. Yes, they can. Dawn will work with them. They can do it. And so all these new dogs came. And the people, I love it at the end of the class, because every single time the people are like, I can't believe how good my dog did. People don't give their dogs enough credit. They don't work with them, so they don't know what they can do. And so that's what's so fun in the classes, to show people, yes, your dog can do it. You just aren't giving them credit, or you're not asking them to do it.
That's such a good point. And then again, it just raises up the confidence of both. So where in Orange County are you doing this?
It's Lake Forest. I was up there in actually
let me know next time you have the class.
I will. As a matter of fact, I meant to tell you, and I totally forgot.
So, okay, I have another question. We're going to talk about all the other types of activities that you do and you teach down here. And some people might be watching in other parts of the country where the weather isn't so.
Right. That's why I did the trip.
Okay, cool. So let's say you're somebody like I do my stuff in the morning, but during the day I have a little quiet routine that I try to fit in to just get away from the computer, like for 2 minutes at a time, a few times. What are some things that people could do at home or at work? Well, if they don't have their dog at work, at home.
For you, some people take their dogs to work.
I bullet work, and what I'll do is I like to do push-ups and squats and just some stretches, but the moment I'm down below waist level, she's all over me. But I kind of use that as part of it, because sometimes I'll have to just hold like a plank and just let her, goof off, and I'm laughing and I'm getting even more of the intensity. More than the actual physical workout, it's a mental break.
Right. And that's what's super important. We do a lot of, Jack and I do a lot of exercises here, or else I'll do something and I'll throw the ball for him and he goes and gets it and brings it back. You can kind of do that kind of stuff. We have the Fit Pause things where he does his balance exercises and all that kind of stuff. Also, we do a lot of trick training where I do stuff like him. And that's when the obedience comes in as well. So, like you can hold your plank and put them in a down. Or, teach them to crawl and crawl underneath you, So there's a lot of fun things that you can do with that, but a lot of people say that as soon as they get down on the ground, their dog's all over them.
Yeah. And I would normally just make Bella go in a down state, but she's been sleeping too, and there's just something that's just kind of fun about it for me. So I just let her do it.
But that's why we did the trip around the country, because, obviously we live in Southern California. We have like perfect weather 90% of the time. So we did our trip to see, what other people are dealing with, because obviously, I like to be outside. That's my thing. And the dogs need to be outside. You need the fresh air. You need the sunlight. You need all that kind of stuff. And they always say there's no bad weather. It's just bad clothing. But a lot of people don't like to get their dogs wet. And we ran into all kinds of weather on our trip. We did, humidity and rain and thunderstorms and all that stuff. And, of course, there's snow. Although I taught a class in Michigan, and the girls up there loved it. And now they've continued doing it. And they are hardcore. They're out there in the snow working out.
Wow.
So it's crazy. It's like super cold, and they're out there doing stuff with their dogs.
Wow. So some of the other classes that you teach or just, it's not even that you teach it, they're activities that you coordinate for people to participate in, like, the trail runs and going hiking and even camping with your dog. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, it's like every single thing we started is because I wanted to go, and I thought, well, I'll just bring everybody with me.
Yeah,
and that's how every single thing started, because I love hiking. So what my hikes are all about is I try to find new trails that aren't like the trails that everybody in San Diego know about. I try to find off the beat trails. That way we can take a gigantic group of dogs. Sometimes we'll have 25 dogs on our hikes. Wow. And we don't want to go on a trail where there's so many, we call them the freeway trails, where there's so many people.
Right.
So I try to introduce people to new trails. That's what, and I like to explore, and I have ADD and I hate doing the same thing all the time. So, which benefits them because I find all these off the beaten places. So that's super fun. And it's super fun for me because it makes me go out and find new trails. So and then a lot of people don't like to hike by themselves. So I always bring snacks, and then it's a great way to meet people. And it's a great way to meet people that like to do the same things as you,
Yeah.
And then, and then the camping we do, we usually take about 30 dogs camping. And my thing is, I didn't want to turn the camping to a big food fest. When you have all these dogs around, you can't have food everywhere. So we have a cook come, and he prepares all the food for us. We have like 3 meals, and then we'll have some snacks. But, when you get a bunch of women together, everybody wants to bring food. And I never wanted it to be like that. And I swear to God, some people come just for the food because he does such a great job. And
so for people around the country, they could fly in. You guys could fly in and go hang out with Dawn on a camping trip.
As a matter of fact, I've thought about doing little retreats here for, now, especially since I'm in the RV world, there's so many RV parks here that people can come here in their RV and I can introduce them to all this stuff. I have paddle boards. We do paddle boarding with the dogs, kayaking with the dogs, swimming. We do everything with the dogs. we even have a book club. We haven't done that in a while. We have, the happy hours, all that kind of stuff. It's all about, that was another thing about my trip was to show people you don't have to do this stuff without your dog. I mean, I have great stories in here where I've inspired people, bring your dog. And, a couple in Maine brought their dog, and the dog would have been in the RV all day, but instead they brought their dog, and we went out in the water the entire day. The dog sat in the canoe. Then the dog went swimming. We taught the dog how to swim. I mean, it was super fun. And they would have been like, we never even thought about bringing our dog out on the kayak with us all day.
So interesting. And, we love our dogs so much. It's just such a big part of our lives that I always talk about the evolution of how our family pet, if you will, our precious dogs has evolved since the time of them being in the backyard to, maybe.
I'm from Pennsylvania, where I don't think our dogs, they were never inside. During the whole winter, they were outside in kennels.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine that now, but that's how it was.
Well, and now, I mean, it's gone even beyond their lifestyle within the house. More and more people, and because it's possible, and more businesses realize that they need to find ways to incorporate pets as part of that family, so people can bring their dogs along. It just makes it really easy. We should talk, because I've had some people want to do an online book club. Maybe we can do something together. And
the book club was really fun. And what I did was, and we should do it with your book, because what I would do is surprise the girls, and I'd Skype the author in, or else I would have the author come to the book club. And so it was super fun, and we kind of, well, what was happening was I was one of the only people that would read the book, and then we'd get to the book club and people would be like, well, don't tell us how it ended. I'm like, we're supposed to talk about the book. Nobody's reading the book but me. And there were just a couple of us, but I loved it because I love to read.
No, that's fantastic. I'd love to do that for you. Okay, so what are some things that do you also help people in terms of nutrition, or is it just focused on the physical fitness?
Oh, no. We've had people lose like over 50 pounds. Tons of people lose over 50 pounds. And it's all, you have to do the nutrition. Nutrition's 80% of it. The movement is very important, obviously, for your metabolism, the weight training, it's all included, but you have to do the nutrition. And especially as you get older, because you have all these hormonal issues going on. So I have Hashimoto's. It's a thyroid issue, and I completely control it with diet. I've never been on any medications. So I'm really, really, really into the diet, and, all natural. We don't do any toxins at all. No chemicals at my house at all. Jack was diagnosed in 2016 with a brain tumor, and ever since then, it's super. So it's a big package.
Yeah. Now, I want to open it up for questions. You have a lot of fans on here. Maybe some of them can share what they've done, but also for people who are curious to know. And I should have said a little earlier, if you're just tuning in, clearly we're talking about health and fitness, but more in terms of how you can incorporate your pet. your dog.
Yeah, and for people that don't obviously have a boot camp with their dog class, you can incorporate your dog into your daily dog walk. I teach people in my classes, while your dog's doing its business, practice your balance. As you get older, we lose our balance. So I show them balance exercises to do. Or like you said, I stop at a picnic table and do some push-ups, or we do lunge walks, and work on your dog's heel. Like Jack's getting older now. He's 13. So we used to do Tuesday mornings. We used to always do our run. Well, now I do my lunge. I call it my lunge walk because I literally do like 200 lunge walks while he's walking because he walks so slow. So, there's no excuse. You can just make it work no matter what you have, what you're dealing with.
Walking is great. I always do that. Not always, but many times during the end of my walk. And one neighbor came out front one day and was like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody walk their dog like you, walking down the street. But boy, it does give you a really good.
I do it the whole way down the sidewalk. Or, walking backwards works your glutes. I mean, I try to just show people all these different ways. Walking sideways so you get the hips, So there's so many different things that you can do. And I have a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel that I show people, just different ways you can.
That's perfect. You guys, so we should put that in. Your YouTube channel link, is it just Leash Your Fitness YouTube?
Yeah. And if you go to my blog, I have, the Motivation Monday. We used to do Motivation Mondays all the time. And, just different ideas. I mean, super easy. It doesn't have to be like a giant workout. Anything that you do is better than nothing. If you're sitting, the average person sits and eats breakfast, sits in the car, sits at the desk all day, drives a car home, sits and has dinner, and then sits and watches TV. That's way too much sitting. So even if you get on the floor and do exercises at night, or, take a walk at lunchtime, anything.
It's very true. We are very, very sedentary, and you have to make an effort to not be. And I think, one of the questions if people ask me, like, what do I do and how do I fit all that in? And, the simple answer is that it's a priority. Yes. I can't be effective in what I do on a daily basis if I don't have my health. And that's the first thing.
Mentally, too. It's such a big difference if you're not working out. Like, you just get this foggy head and you just can't think. You have to take that time for yourself. They always say, put your oxygen mask on first so you can help others.
It's very true. It is, to me, it is self-care, and it is a non-negotiable in my world. Because to just what you said, there's just too many things that I want to experience and too many things I want to do. And quite honestly, with longevity the way it is, I don't want to be older and not capable of experiencing things. And that comes with overall health, but also general strength and fitness levels. So I really believe so strongly it is about taking care of your dog, walking and that kind of thing. But if you have the capacity to incorporate the two, more fun and enjoyable would that be for
and then I think, a lot of people, they blame menopause, they have this and that. It's the strength training that people aren't doing. You've got to build that muscle to get your metabolism going. I mean, a walk is fine. I mean, a walk's better than nothing, that's for sure. But you've got to build that muscle to get the metabolism spiked. And that's why people get the belly fat and everything else, because the metabolism's going down as they get older.
Right. Hey, do you guys have any questions out there for our expert? Because she's an expert in all of it, fitness and nutrition and dogs and activities like the kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding. I have a question. I know you just mentioned, Jack's getting older, and so some of the activities that you were able to do, he cannot do as much. But
it's been tough.
So how do you, what do you do in that situation?
Well, lucky for me, he's only 20 pounds, so I carry him a lot. And even in our running classes, sometimes I pick him up and run up the hills with him. So I'm very fortunate. Obviously, a lot of people can't do that. So, I've always had big dogs all my life. Now that I have this little dog, I don't think I'd ever go back to a big dog, no offense, because with my lifestyle, this has been a huge lifestyle switch for us. Yeah. He loves to swim. So we do a lot of paddleboarding, and swimming is so good for their joints. So like we're going to Arizona for 2 weeks next week, and we're just going to lake hop, and we paddleboard, and he swims and I swim, and we both love to swim. And then we still hike, and I just carry him, or he walks for a little bit, and then he's super slow, so then I pick him up.
So we have a question. It's a great question as far as getting started. So somebody is just getting started in their own fitness regime, and they want to do something now with their dogs. What would be a really good first step for them to take?
Taking a walk. Do a walk and just incorporate the exercises in your dog walk. And you can do balance exercises. You can stop and do tricep push-ups, regular push-ups, squats, the lunge walks. Obviously, if they have any knee problems or shoulder problems, then we got to work on that. But there's bands. We carry bands with us.
Mm-hmm. So I want to also address that as well. Years ago, when I first decided I wanted to be able to do push-ups, and even pull-ups for that matter, I couldn't do one.
Right.
And I was pretty, fit young lady anyway to begin with. But to do a full straight one, it was, like, oh my gosh, I could do one. That's about it. And I just
start with one, and then you keep getting stronger.
That's my point. And so every day I would do one, and then all of a sudden I could do two, and then I just kept two, and then all of a sudden I could do three, and then before you know it, it is, and then you start kind of challenging. It's like, oh my gosh, I got that in. I can do whoa, and you build up, and the same thing, with anything. So look at it.
That's what we tell people. You're not going to run a marathon the first day. And it's the same with their dog. If you do run marathons, remember, you got to work your dog up to these things too. So you and your dog can both work up at the same time. But I love that. And that's why, you see these challenges all the time. And, you start with one. I was stuck on 6 pull-ups there for a while. But, and they have bands for everything. So that will help you get stronger.
So someone is asking, Karen is asking, how far or long is it, what is appropriate for a 5-month-old puppy as far as length or time?
Well, you want to work them up a little tiny bit. You don't want to take them out running a 5K. So you work them up, and it depends on what kind of dog. You don't want to affect their joints. I have to say that's the biggest mistake I made with Jack. He was only, I think, 3 months when we went hiking the first time, and we started running. I didn't know any better, and I would not do that again. And I think that's what really affected his paws. He has severe arthritis in his paws now. So I think that you might want to talk to a dog trainer, depending on what kind of dog it is too, but definitely work up a little bit at a time on that. And you wouldn't want to run on it every day, that's for sure. And you probably know a lot more than that too with the dog training. And people have to remember, I'm not a dog trainer. And I don't ever pretend to be one. So, they would want to talk to their vet about that as well. But I know for a fact that's one of the mistakes that I made with Jack. I mean, he was only like 3 months, and I had him up in Mammoth hiking.
So I know you have done a ton of things with Jack, and all over the country. What if there was one thing that stood out to you as the most memorable? What Stephanie's asking you. What would that be as far as an activity or an adventure that you guys
hiked a lot, and we hiked the tallest peak in the country, Mount Elbert in Colorado. And that was really cool. And it was on July 4th, and it was on this trip. And I didn't know how we would do it because we've hiked really high in Idaho, in Oregon before. And so I wasn't sure how we would do, and we did awesome. And I wasn't sure how Jack would do at that elevation. And he's running around chasing squirrels, and he did great. But we were traveling then, I don't know, I think we were 8 weeks into our trip then. And, we were both in super good shape, and it was amazing. I felt like I was high when I got off that hike. It was just so, so cool. It was such a cool experience. It was a beautiful hike, 4th of July. That was definitely...
I want to tell you real quickly about my most amazing hike ever. It was spectacular. And you guys, too, pop in. If you've done something like crazy awesome, we want to know about it. So when we lived in the state of Washington, I would hike every day with my 2 dogs, Sasha the Hound Pointer and Zoe the Dalmatian mix. Anyway, one day it was spectacularly clear, beautiful blue sky. By the time I got to the top, there was Mount Baker on the left and Mount Rainier on the right. You could see them like like you could reach out and touch them. That's how
Love
clear.
that.
It was amazing. And then out of nowhere, it's like it was a movie. This great bald eagle, I kid you not.
Oh my God. That gives me chills.
It was unreal. And it landed on this log about 15 feet away, maybe a little bit further. But I mean, it was like right there. And all I could think about was my hound, who is such a little hunter, and all the dogs. It's like they knew magic had just happened. They just stopped.
Oh my gosh.
It was like this. It was just like a spiritual moment.
That is amazing.
Washington. It was awesome. All right.
Another memorable hike was actually the inspiration for this trip was I was up near Solvang, and Jack and I were on this hike. And same thing, we got to the top, and one side was a lake, and the other side was the ocean. And I stood there, and this was the inspiration for this whole trip. I was like, wouldn't it be so cool to get an RV? And this was in March. And I said, wouldn't it be so cool to get an RV and travel all over the country and hike with Jack? I had an RV in April, and I started planning my trip. And by the next April, we were on this trip.
Okay, so I'm just going to call you out on that. So for all of you dreamers out there who say you want to do certain things, you know, the simple thing that makes the difference is just saying, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You just make the choice to do it. And then
to me, it's really sad. I mean, I've traveled all over the country, all over. I took Jack to Canada. Last year, we did a 6-week road trip up to Canada. And it just makes me so sad when people I'm going to do that when I retire. I work in a hospital. I'm an X-ray tech in a hospital part-time. I see a lot of people never make it to retirement. I see what can happen. And it makes me really sad. And, you know, there's a lot of things that led up to me just saying, screw it, I'm doing what I need to do. And I never regretted it. And life is too short to just work all the time and be miserable. I see so many people that are so miserable in their jobs, in their life. You got to find what you love, you know, and you just got to be passionate about it. And that way you're happy, and, you know, it's not going to affect your health, you know, like stress does.
Right. And I think too, you know, taking the cues from our dog, that's always my favorite practice, in that there's not a dog on this earth that sees something it wants and says to itself and debates if this is the right time to go out.
They go for it.
Exactly.
No matter what it is.
I mean, again, and this is a perfect example. You set your sights on something, and it's not like you go out tomorrow and do it, or even the next month, but you put it into practice and you take the action steps needed to get there, and then ultimately you are doing it. You're not pushing it off so far down the road with the excuses.
And that's how I started my business. I saw that, you know what, I'm like, I'm not, I live in California. I don't want to be inside all day. I want to be with my dog. I'm going to figure out a way to do all that.
Okay, so I would be remiss if we did not touch on the fact that many people watching may also be thinking, God, that's so awesome. I want to have a job like that. I want to have a career like that, run a business like that. So there is a way that they can do it. And you could go to Dawn's website, right? You have a program that helps people launch their own Leash for Fitness.
So, you know, it's not for everybody, but, you know, it's super fun. And what I do is I do consultations with people, and we brainstorm ways to make something like this happen into their existing business. So, you know, I have people contacting me that are dog trainers or people trainers or dog groomers, or they're not either. They're not in either fitness or dog stuff, but they want to be. And so we figure out ways to make it happen. And, you know, it could be a walking program, it could be a yoga program, it could be so many different things, but I don't know, like, you know, and especially like with the weather situation. So, but it's really fun, and it's really fun to hear people's passion, and, you know, just, I help them brainstorm ways for it to work. And yeah, all that information is definitely on my website.
All right. Well, you guys, I absolutely love it. I think you have done a tremendous job. I think you offer the best service in Southern California, and I'm excited to know that you're coming up this way, and maybe Maybe I'll put it out there to the universe. I know you and I have talked about me doing a little class or something up here too. I would totally love to get out more and
Well, anytime you want me to come up, I'll teach one for you. That would be so fun. We'll do a dog is good fitness class.
do it. I'll coordinate it. That would be really fun.
Yeah, I love doing that. I mean, when I traveled around the country on this trip, we taught fitness classes all over the country. And
the people there, and you just made it happen.
Yeah, and people, like I said, people are like, oh, my dog can't do this. And I mean, the best class was, I'm from Pennsylvania. We have farm dogs. Half those dogs have never been on a leash before. We had 30 dogs in this class.
Wow.
And I was like, I texted my dog trainer friend. I'm like, please say a prayer for me. And then, you know, a lot of the people didn't work out. And then they had these crazy dogs. It was so much fun. And by the end of the class, this is the best part. All the dogs are lying down.
Oh, that is the best part.
So fun. And it was so awesome because people were like, oh my God, I can't believe my dog did this, you know, and it was so much fun.
So cool. You know, I'm going to say that we are absolutely going to do it. And since I know my team that helps me do everything is watching, I'm going to also say, don't worry, guys, we're not doing it next week or even next month. We will make it happen in a reasonable amount of time to coordinate everything.
And if anyone listening is in Arizona, I'm going to be there the next 2 weeks. So if you want me to teach a class for you, let me know.
All right, you guys, anybody out there in Arizona, you can get in touch with Dawn at her website. And this is awesome. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us this afternoon.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. And so you guys, don't forget, you can enter to win Dawn's book and your Never Walk Alone t-shirt and Never Walk Alone dog water bottle. And just to give you guys a heads up too, next week we are going to be doing the lifestyle show on Monday because I'm doing a little bit of extra traveling in the month of April. So we're kind of switching it up. So just keep on top of us and stay tuned. We're going to be talking about teaching your children how to train the family dog. So a great trainer who specializes in working specifically with kids. So if you're a teacher or somebody in a school system, this would be great information, or a family that has children working with dogs. So yeah, this was really fun. You know how to reach Dawn, and you know, one of these days we'll get out there and invite everybody out here to California. Come to Dog is Good. We'll do a class. I mean, I'm going to do one beforehand too, but it'll be really fun. So anyway, I love what you do, and
thank you so much.
You're out there making it happen.
I was going to say too, they can get this on Amazon if they don't win it.
Perfect. Get it on Amazon if you do not win it. That's easy. Hold it up again so we have the title. Jack's Journey USA. All right. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Join the lifestyle group if you have not already. I will tell you, we have something super, super fun planned. It's going a bit crazy, but it's so much fun in the lifestyle group for Mother's Day. So stay tuned for that, and go check out those videos, the first 2 minutes home, and vote for your favorite and pass that around. Some great prizes and some amazing videos. All right. Take care, Dawn.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for watching.